We've recently celebrated 15 years as a division, trading as Principality Commercial. So that is always a great opportunity for us to pause and reflect on some of the achievements over that period, but in particular to listen to our customers and to ensure that we're delivering the service that they would expect, and that relationship approach continues to work. So over the last few weeks, we've spent a bit of time on the road with customers, with colleagues, looking at some of those landmark projects. So enjoy watching.
Loftus Garden Village is a development of 250 homes. The great thing about Loftus is it's a mixed community of rented homes, shared ownership housing, homes which have been bought on the market for outright sale. We've been working with the Principality now for over a decade, working together on opportunities to get more people in Wales into rented homes and onto the housing ladder. There are many, many hundreds of people throughout Wales now who've got a foot on the housing ladder and are living in their first home.
Housing associations do a great job in regenerating communities. This particular housing site was built on a brownfield site, and they've really completely changed it and created a really good community and a really nice place to live in Newport.
I believe the Principality really cares about affordable housing in Wales and making sure that people have access to good quality homes, whether it's to rent, own or part own. Another project we've worked with them on which demonstrates this commitment is the Welsh Housing Partnership. The Welsh Housing Partnership is a joint venture of 4 housing associations backed by the Principality. We've now hit a target of 1,000 homes and we're on track to reach 2,000 in the next couple of years.
I think we're playing our part to help. Every pound we lend means that they can build more houses and try to help to reach that target.
This is a scheme called Pen-y-Garth. It's a development of 7 apartments and 1 townhouse in Penarth. Very well located for access to the town and with sea views just over the top. This building was originally an office building which was being used previously by the NHS. It was then vacant for a number of years before our customer came forward to purchase it. So what was a previously disused commercial building is now 7 apartments and a townhouse which are just about finished and should have some families moving in very soon. We had an existing relationship with the developer on this project. We'd previously funded a number of investment schemes for them in and around Cardiff. When they came to us with this project, we could see the potential in it in terms of the end result here. We worked with them, first purchasing the asset and then working up the planning. It's nice seeing people come to you with plans and saying, this is what I'm planning to do with this site, and then going out with them, working up a project, working with them to get it over the line. There's plenty of competition in property development at the moment in terms of funding, not just from banks but from other non-traditional sources such as crowdfunding and private equity. But I think we have a good model in Principality. We're very relationship driven. It's very much a collaborative model. We like working with customers to get their schemes delivered. Sometimes traditional banks perhaps wouldn't have stuck with a customer, but as a building society we can take a more long-term view.
It's a scheme that was built in 2013. It consists of 42,000 square foot of accommodation, all built to BREEAM Excellent standard. It's an R&D campus based in Port Talbot, and the 2 of the 3 buildings were pre-let to Tata Steel and TWI, 2 big international companies, and the 3rd building was fully let within a year.
Well, what drew us to this project was 2 things. Number one, John Leyland, who started this project with us, had been a customer for 15 years. We knew him well. He'd done similar projects before. And secondly, this is a regeneration project. This was brownfield land that's been converted to provide employment for the region. We're very, very comfortable with long-term relationships. Obviously, the more you deal with people, the better it is. You go through the process of having diggers and bad weather and everything on site, and at the end of it, after 18 months or 12 months of doing this, you end up with fantastic looking buildings like this. So for me, it's just seeing it from start to finish.
There's 18 homes here at Tusker's Point, 12 of which are for sale for the open market, and there's 6 affordable homes that give the people from the local community the chance to get onto the housing ladder.
We love the fact that there was some affordable housing on the scheme to allow people to get on the ladder to their first house. And actually that really does coincide with what Principality does, putting people in their homes in the communities we work in.
It took us the best part of 3 years to bring it to site. The site had a number of challenges on being along the heritage coastline, very exposed location, and everybody fighting to have sea views. So it was quite an interesting, challenging site to deliver from everybody's point of view. But nevertheless, working together with the Principality and the commercial team there, we worked out a way of getting forward and come to a very successful conclusion.
This project was probably the biggest project that the PMG did. 7-8 years ago, we, in collaboration with Cardiff Council and the football club, were in a joint venture to build a new football stadium, move an athletic stadium, and build 480,000 square feet of retail. So it was a huge project for Cardiff at the time, and I think remains a fantastic development.
This project was a real landmark project. It was a former rubbish tip. Nothing had happened with it for years and years, and it was really the deal nobody thought would ever happen. And then a long-established customer came to us with something that we felt could work, enabling the construction of a retail park here with some great names developed on it. It was part of a project which enabled Cardiff City to have a new stadium. It was a new athletic stadium, so it made a huge difference to the communities here. And it was a challenging time to be doing this sort of deal. It was just into the credit crunch. We never lost faith in the deal. We never lost faith in our partners. And the results have been there for everybody to see.
Well, there were huge obstacles on this. I could be here for hours telling you the things from knotweed to we were building on a tip to market conditions which were extremely challenging at the time. Especially so, Principality would recognise that we were in the midst of a terrible recession when we were building this, and trying to find occupiers was very difficult. Yields were softening, rents were falling. Luckily, we had a very good funding partner who stuck by us until we could actually get through that and fill it all and then sell it on. Other funders we work with, they tend to treat projects on an arm's length basis, and there's predetermined hurdles that you have to overcome, otherwise you feel that you're under pressure. We never felt that with Principality. I mean, as I said, they were always part of the team. It was a collaboration, and they stood by us through some very difficult market conditions. And it was massively important that we had local people who were invested, not just professionally, but personally, I think, in making sure this project was a success.
This is a scheme of eco-homes on the edge of St Fagans, Cardiff, and we've got over 30 dwellings, a mixture of 1-bed up to 4-bed homes. So they all have low fuel bills. We've got green roofs, heat pumps, high-performance windows and doors, and sustainable drainage and electric car charging. So we're trying to build differently, and we've been very pleased with the Principality as a funder. We've worked with a few funders over the last few years, and we're very pleased with the Principality. They have very high level of speciality within their department, and they like to know their clients, know their sites, and they work with you from the start to completion, so we've been very pleased with them. I think they really care about communities, they care about homes, and they care about people. And there are a lot of funders who, it's more of a numbers processing format, whereas the Principality really get involved with the whole building, and they love to see a community of people created at the end. It's taken us nearly 5 years so far, but when we finish, we know we'll have almost a small eco-village on the edge of Cardiff with hopefully lots of electric cars travelling around.
The society loves to lend in Wales, but we also in commercial go as far as the M4 corridor down to London. We do a lot of work around the south coast, and we also go as far north maybe as Birmingham. This development is in Marlborough, in Wiltshire. It's for a long-standing customer of ours, which is headed by Jane Bailey. What we're doing here is the second phase of 2 phases of residential properties that have come off the back of properties that were vacated as offices previously. So in the first phase we did 9, and in this phase we're doing 4 units. And as you can see from the background, they're absolutely superb.
The Principality were introduced to us in 2002 by a friend of ours, or a broker, and we used them because we got on with them very well. They were very good in telling us, in giving us quick answers and helping us really with how we purchased the property, and we decided to develop it. And the Principality are very good. They didn't throw their hands up in the air and say no. They listened to us, they helped us, and they encouraged us to make more of the site. It's much more client-based. I have somebody that I can pick up the phone to and actually get an answer. They want you to be honest and they want you to be clear with what you're doing, and if you're clear and honest with what you're doing, they will give you a clear and honest answer. They're not there to pull the plug, and I think that to me is the biggest thing that I've had, that if we've been slightly over time, so long as the relationship is good, they have carried on and they have kept with us, and I really appreciate that.
Principality understand the nuts and bolts of it. But in saying that, they always let us get on with doing what we're best at doing. But we always know they're there to give helpful advice in the background, and the customers that we serve are often the customers that Principality serve, so it's a great synergy for us.
It's great working with the Principality because they just don't fund easy projects. They'll fund complex projects, even if those complex projects involve a range of other partners and a range of other sources of funding. And also because their funding approval process is far quicker and simpler compared to other lenders.
I would describe the Principality as a first-class team. A team with talent, expertise, but importantly, a passion to make a difference.